Oh boy. Well, my fucking camera phone shut itself off. I was 20 minutes into a great video and you're all gonna fucking miss it now. That sucks. So maybe I'll improve my delivery then by this one. And so it's so fucking hot here. I'm gonna open this window. Whew, there we go. Anyway, just having a Saturday talk with you good people. Maybe I'll keep it shorter because I already talked for 20 fucking minutes to myself. Apparently, that's who I talk to. I'm still figuring out this studio scenario, creating a studio out of my, my room I'm in here. So my small little room in a third world shithole, and I'm making it into a studio for you fine people on a Saturday, drinking my green tea. And props to those who sent me this mug. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right, so we're talking about last minute resistance. Last minute resistance. What the fuck is that? First of all, okay, so last minute resistance is a term that was created by the pickup artist community. Okay, probably about 20 years ago, something like that. Last minute resistance, or LMR. It's used to describe when you're in a sexual scenario with a woman and she kind of stops you or resists from you continuing into just having sex with her. And so the pickup artist had techniques and ideas and things of trying to overcome last minute resistance. Now, from what I just said there, I'm not even 2 minutes in the video, and all the social justice warriors just had an abortion all over their floor watching my video. They just lost their shit. There's some are protesting right now, holding up a sign at their television or phones or whatever at the YouTube channel. They're gonna send me hate mail for mentioning this idea of last minute resistance. Because some of you, I don't know what you think, how you think shit works, but some of you think that that there's that sex in the hashtag Me Too era, should involve consent forms and interviews, and basically everyone signs a waiver, and then she lies on her back with her legs open, and then the guy comes over after everything's been agreed upon, looked over by an attorney, and then every 10 seconds he asks for permission to continue. I'm just guessing that's how some of you guys imagine the shit should go, but I got news for you though. That's not very attractive or romantic, even for a guy. That's not even very arousing, and let alone is that arousing for any female. Okay, so that's not the way the shit works. There's a lot of subtext and sub-communication when two people sleep together. I'm by no means suggesting, as I go through this video, that a guy tries to get a chick to sleep with him that really doesn't want to sleep with him. Like, that's just a bad idea all around, okay? So things aren't binary extreme. We're not talking about that. But what we do have, though, is a scenario where, okay, when women decide that they're going to have sex with a guy, or that a guy is fuckable, all right? They decide that very quickly, usually, all right? But then there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of things that follow that decision, okay? Because they have to protect their womb. They can only get pregnant with one guy at a time, and their existential fear is that they get pregnant with the wrong guy. All right, now that's just, again, chimpanzee brain stuff. The chimpanzee doesn't know that she's on the pill or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Now, some women will, have not really much of a filter at all, depending on her ovulation cycle, hormones, how horny she is, how much alcohol she's had, and she'll bang a dude an hour after meeting him. You know what I'm saying? But others will have rules in place. In fact, if she's a healthy girl, you probably want her to have some rules there. So she might not want to have sex till the third date. You know what I'm saying? But yet you guys are getting hot and heavy on the second. Or she might. So there's a number of reasons that she'll put barriers up, and it's that protective measure. It's her hindbrain protecting herself from either getting pregnant with the wrong guy or getting pregnant with the wrong guy. It doesn't just mean that you're not alpha. It could mean that you're very alpha and that you're going to discard her, Okay, that's another fear as well. So it was interesting in a discussion about this topic about the whole alpha beta thing. The idea was put forth that, well, if you're this alpha guy, you know what I mean, you're just going to like, she's just gonna throw her pussy right at you, you know, like there's gonna be no barriers, no rules whatsoever. If you're the alpha fucks, you know, she's literally, you know, just bending her ass over and hitting you on Snapchat and saying, you know, leave your shoes and pants at the door and just slide right in as soon as you get here. Like, she's not even, there's no filtering whatsoever. And that's, of course, nonsense, right? Like, we know that's nonsense, okay? So how it actually works is Rollo Tomassi and the Rational Male puts it in his book. You know, women will break rules for the alpha, make rules for the beta. That's how it works, all right? And so it's not that she doesn't have any rules if she wants to have sex with you. It's that she starts bending or breaking or rationalizing through those rules. And so you end up having sex, better sex, faster, because she has genuine desire for you. So she finds herself doing things and breaking rules that she never had done before, doesn't usually do. When you hear a girl say, I usually don't do this, that could be bullshit, but that could be true. And she sees you as an alpha male that she is breaking a rule for. Okay? So that's how it works. You're still doing the dance, you're still playing the game. It's just that the alpha guy is getting through that game a lot easier than the beta guy is. And the alpha guy will still run into last minute resistance as well, for whoever knows and whatever reasons. Doesn't mean that her genuine desire isn't there, you know. Now, of course, with the beta guy, you know, the beta guy might get sex, but she's not high desire for him. And so she's placing more rules. She's making him jump through way more hoops. Now, pickup artist industry gets this stuff wrong in a sense that, you know, most pickup artists or those types are actually fucking big dorks. All right, they're dorks who didn't get women, and so they wanted to figure out through like some Dungeons and Dragons matrix how to fucking figure out how to get women, right? And they did, like, they're relatively successful at a lot of what they've done with that, you know, because what it caused them to do is figure out how to communicate in a way we call game, or communicate to a female's hindbrain or sexual deciding part of her brain, which is her primitive brain. They learn how to bypass all this stuff. You know what I mean? But the problem is, what they're neglecting is it's all became for a lot of them, not every single one, of course, but for a lot of them, it's all about notch count. So they're just trying to get women to sleep with them, regardless of whether or not they really genuinely have high desire for them or not. They're just trying. It's like a game for them. They're trying to break through all of the barriers that she's putting up to get her to have sex with them. Well, the problem with that is you do get what you wish for, you know? And I say this all the time. Like, guys will want me to coach them on pickup, which I can. I can coach you on pickup. I'm probably one of the best pickup coaches, period. End of story. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. That's one thing I'm very good at, okay? But that doesn't mean, you know, that you got to still be a guy who's chasing excellence and be that alpha guy. Like, that's where we start, okay? That's the beginning of having meaningful relationships and good interactions with women in your life, all right? Not just picking them up and getting through barriers like a dirty salesman and then getting inside their vaginas and then having them hate you later when they find out that you're not really the guy that you presented yourself as. That's not really the recipe for happiness or success. It's a recipe for a notch count, but honestly, once you have sex with women who have high desire for you, high genuine desire for you because they see you as the best option that they've had up to that point, that is a level of passion and desire and sex that is going to beat the shit out of any drunk girl, any drunk 5 or 6 that you're picking up at the bar with your pickup artist techniques. All right, so I'm not saying that it's not good to know how to pick up on women. It's absolutely valuable. It's valuable to know game. Like, you know, just knowing how to communicate to that hindbrain is so important. But you still have to be genuinely a high value male, okay? And that's what you should really be working on the most. I'm not saying don't work on your communication with women, but I'm saying work on you first, all right? Because who you are is going to be who she falls for and has high desire for after that first, second, third encounter. Not just who you LARP to be, right? Live action role play. Women fucking hate pickup artists too, by the way. It makes sense. Women hate anything that bypasses their hypergamous filters, all right? Because they have a filter that they're filtering for high desire males, all right? That high genetically viable males that they can have babies with, all right? That's what their primal brain is filtering for, okay? And pickup artistry is bypassing those filters and basically tricking them. So they fucking hate that. You know, they'd also hate any guy who wears shoe lifts to make him 3 or 4 inches, 4 or 5 inches taller. They'll hate a guy who presents himself as if he has money, if he doesn't have a lot of money. And then they'll bitch about that and say, well, it's because they're not being genuine, not being who they are. Meanwhile, they got push-up bras, makeup, colored contacts, things they're doing with their hair, Spanx. You know what I'm saying? Like because us men we have filters as well to filter out for genetically viable females. All right, and so all of the look stuff, hip to waist ratio, you know what I mean? Good skin, like, you know, the things that we vet for, they go to bypass that stuff with Snapchat filters, fucking photo filters now on social media and dating apps, and you know, so they do that shit all day long. They get really mad when guys do it. Whatever. Okay, just goes to show that's how they are. But yeah, you know, so that's that. They fucking hate that shit. So regardless what you're trying to do, you want to be genuine. You're not a fucking pickup artist, right? You want to actually be that alpha dominant dude, okay? And so last minute resistance. If you're running into last minute resistance, it's usually because you fucked up before you got to the point where you guys are in that little makeout session, all right? It's you didn't build enough tension is what it is, okay? And she might have, maybe you did, and she has rules, which is fine too. You know what I mean? And but I mean, usually if you're getting that a lot though, not just isolated one-off scenarios, you know, then it's because you're not. I mean, individual situations vary, but it's usually because you're not building enough tension. All right? So there's a sexual tension that happens, and then there's a level of comfort that happens. All right? And so you have to, by the time you're getting physical with somebody, there has to be so much tension built that just her desire and her emotions are don't give a shit about her rules at that point, and that she is having sex with you right then. She doesn't care about, you know, this is why you have to control the birth, because she doesn't care about fucking condoms. She doesn't care about, you know what I mean? She just wants to fuck. All right, that is the desire you have to build, but that desire needs to be built prior to that encounter. And so what a lot of guys do is they focus on that encounter. Yeah, of course, we know. We know you want to have sex. We get it. Everybody gets it. But fucking, you put yourself in a position, a lot of you guys, where you're pining for her for sex. You see what I'm saying? What that does is it sends that message to her hindbrain and to her hypergamous filter that you're not better than she is. You're less than her. That's what it says. If you're striving to have sex with her and it becomes very obvious, you appear to be less. She's up here, you're down here. Does that make sense? She has to see you as, she has to feel like she is mating upward, okay? But when you're chasing pussy, or you're setting up dates and encounters where she's not having to earn you at all, you're just trying to get pussy, then it causes her in her hindbrain to question, do I really want to fuck this guy? Like, you know, do I really want this dude? Is he the guy for me? You know, she's questioning that stuff because you have put yourself at a lower point, you see. So a lot of you dudes are doing a meetup, like coffee or dinner. You know, they won't do dinner. If you're smart enough, you're doing drinks or you're doing like coffee or something. You have that short date, get to know each other. There's some tension builds, which is good. And then you stop, you know, then you go your separate ways. The tension subsides a little bit, right? And then, you know, She reaches out or you reach out to set up that second date or whatever, and then tension kind of builds again, okay? So it's kind of a push-pull that happens. And then your second date, you know, so a lot of you millennials and shit are like, well, come over and watch a movie. Or let's Netflix and chill, right? Or whatever. And so she's coming over to Netflix and chill with you. She knows you want to fuck, but she's not necessarily... She has a rule that says she's not fucking you till you get to date number 4, you know? And here you are setting it up as a fuck date, and she's, you know, her rules dictate that she's 2 dates out, and now you're pining for her for sex. You're clearly setting it up for that, and she's putting up now this resistance, maybe even from the beginning of the date, and you don't even really know that. And then she walks away from that date. You never get a third date because she sees you as thirsty, she sees you as desperate, and is trying to, you're just trying to sleep with her and all this stuff, right? That's what she sees. Okay. Well, yeah, so you're fucking it up. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, you have to have no fucks given, you have to have outcome independence, and you have to build that tension. Dating is fun. Like, this is the time for you to have fun with someone and learn about them. You should be approaching this as a man, as I'm seeing this person to see if they're a viable person to even want to stick my penis in, number 1. Number 2, if it's going to go any further than just me sticking my penis in her. Is it going to go further than that? Are we going to make this into a thing, or is she not worthy of making into a thing? Like, you should be vetting her, okay? She's certainly vetting you, which I recommend that she does that. So you need to be doing the same for her, though. But a lot of you guys are just like, well, I want the vagina, so that's there's no vetting. I'm just trying to get the vagina. I'll tell you what, women are smarter than you when it comes to this sort of thing. They know what's going on, probably much more than you think. We'll put it like that. And sometimes they don't give a fuck, sometimes they're cool with that, and you, it's up to you to have that situational awareness, and to have that, and this is why women always say, I need a guy who pays attention to me. You have to pay attention to the girl that's in front of you. You have to pay attention to her nonverbal cues, her body language, her facial expression, the tones of her voice, what she's saying and what she's not saying, the subcontext as well as the context. You need to really be able to work on picking up on all this stuff to know whether you need to escalate or de-escalate, a little bit, whether you need to push or pull, all right? And you should build this tension so that by the time you get to that fucking moment where you're actually making out and it's time to fuck, she's more than ready. She is grabbing onto your stuff, trying to make shit happen. Not where you're trying to push, and then she's like, okay, stop. All right? So the key to getting through last minute resistance is to not get last minute resistance to begin with. Okay? That's the key to it. That's the answer right there, is that you're not in that scenario unless she is so excited to be there that she's not putting up any barriers. And I'll tell you, as far as being #MeToo'd, yeah. So that's not going to happen if her desire is so high that she is literally trying to put you inside of her. You know what I'm saying? She is going for, trying to rip your fucking clothes off because you have built that much tension. All right? Then that is... that you don't have to worry about this last minute resistance stuff. So if you're not getting that, and one female, it could just be that that particular female has reservations, has issues, this, that, and the other, whatever. Her rules are just so thick. Maybe she doesn't see you as the alpha. Who the fuck knows? Those are one-offs. But if you're getting this last minute resistant thing all the time, then that's because you're putting out the creepy let's fuck vibe way too early, and you're not building that tension. Part of building tension is she should wonder if you're going to try to have sex with her or not at some point. She should kind of wonder about that. She shouldn't be so damn sure of herself, all right? She should want it, but unsure whether, gee, if I say or do the wrong thing, is this motherfucker just going to drop me off and go out with another girl? You know what I mean? That's what should be going on in her mind. She should be trying to earn you, not you just fucking running after her. You know what I'm saying? But, these young people, younger teens to early 20s, you know, they're learning for easy access, pussy and dick over a cell phone, you know. So there is no courting anymore, and there is no tension being built. So it's lousy, shitty sex with a bunch of fucking young people that don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then, of course, they have regrets later, and it's hashtag me too. Because the desire is never really that high to begin with, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So a lot of you young people really do need some coaching on this stuff. And there's a lot more that can be said about how to build tension. You want to know how to build this tension with your wife, your girlfriend, with people you're dating. That's what you call me for coaching for. Okay, that's what I can coach you on, because you're doing specific things, you know. So I have to get you one-on-one. I can talk generalities, but I have to get you one-on-one and figure out the nuances of what you're doing and start having you modify your behavior through coaching sessions and behavior modification. And there could be internal struggles you're having with approach anxiety, rejection anxiety, whatever it may be. You could have weak behaviors, insecure behaviors that are cropping up you don't even see or know. You know what I'm saying? So for you dudes out there who are struggling with stuff, that's what you call me for coaching for, all right? Because I can cover shit in a video, but I really can't give you the how-to, because your how-to, I mean, in generalities, I can speak about it, but in your personal things that you're doing, you know what I mean, it might be different than the guy next to you, So anyway, but that's the answer, though. That's the answer. Is that you're not building enough tension. You're too focused on pussy, probably. All right? Just have fun. You don't have any fucks given. If she sleeps with you, she doesn't sleep with you, you don't give a shit. That has to be your mindset. I'm going out with this chick, so I want to learn more about her, and I want to have a good time. That's your only expectation. So you hang out, and you create the conditions for a good time. Those conditions include sex, but if it doesn't happen, you don't give a shit. You know, if it does happen, yeah, fucking awesome too, right? If a chick sleeps with you within 30 minutes of knowing you, awesome. Doesn't really mean anything other than the fact that she's attracted to you. She sleeps with you after 5 dates instead of, you know, whatever, the first date, doesn't mean she's not attracted to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put too much subtext and shit, bullshit into it. Don't put too much into it. All right? It is what it is, you know? So, now, let's say, though, you're doing everything right, and you do run into last-minute resistance. It's kind of a, push, pull, okay? Kind of like you step forward, and then you pull back a little bit. So you're making out or whatever, and then she's kind of like, let's slow down, let's stop, and just slow down and stop. Just pause right where you're at, back off on the intensity, and enjoy your time. Yeah, that's all you're doing. And pause there and stay there for a while. And if she wants you to proceed, maybe she's going to pull you and move you into proceeding. If she doesn't want you to proceed for whatever reason, then you just kind of stop at some point when, you know what I mean. And again, you're not just pausing and she's uncomfortable either. I mean, you have to fucking pay attention to her body language and what's going on. Another thing that's we could dissect in a video at some point, but I'll need a girl in front of me, so it's going to be months before that happens. But anyway, yeah, so you just have to start, again, that's a coaching thing. You have to get good at recognizing all these signs and figuring these things out, these little things. But regardless, you know, you just pause where you're at, you back off. You know what I mean? And she starts moving in or wants to kiss you some more or do some more stuff, and then you just, like, let it gradually happen, you know? And maybe it gradually happens, and then you guys end up having sex. Maybe it doesn't go any further because she has a rule. You don't care. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter to you. All right? You're enjoying the time, and you're learning about her. That's the point. All right? That's the whole point. And if it gets to a point where it's just not, you know, going someplace, then just pause, do something else. You know what I mean? Depends on the context of what's going on. Just be like, all right, let's go do something else. We'll make out later, you know? And that's it. You know, you guys are taking it too serious, and you're not having any fucking fun, and then you wonder why she doesn't want to sleep with you. All right? So relax. Dating is about learning about the girl that's in front of you and having a good time, and that is it. You're going to sleep with women. You don't need to have anxiety over this. You don't need to look too much into it. Oh my God, she didn't have sex with me. It's been date 3. She doesn't see me as alpha. Oh no, I'm not alpha. She doesn't like me as much. She doesn't, you know what I mean? Whatever the fuck. Okay? Too much. All right? Just fucking have fun. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. If you're not enjoying yourself, why the fuck are you out with her anyway? All right? So you just no fucks given. Don't worry about this shit. But build that tension in the beginning. All right? That's the beginning. So by the time you get there, idealistically, this is how it should go. By the time you get there, she's ready to explode. That might mean not pushing things to sex on that second or third date. You know what I'm saying? I generally, like guys, I have these rules. Like these dudes, man. These woke guys. We'll have these. We'll say red guys. Cause I don't know if I say the other word, apparently, like YouTube comes down on you now. But like they have all these hard rules and shit. Like you miss the point, dude. Like it's not a hard rule. They're principles that you're gonna have to adjust per situation, per female. Maybe a particular female, you don't take it past date number 2. There was no sex, and she's just not that enjoyable to be around. Maybe most girls, if you haven't had like really a sexual encounter by date 3, she's not worth the time, and absolutely right, and forget about it. You know what I mean? Most girls have like a 3-date rule anyway. That's the most common rule that a chick will have. But maybe she's like fun, and maybe it was a great time, and you're still interested, and you say, fuck it, we'll go on another date. We'll go on date 4, even though we didn't have sex on date 3. Like, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, you gotta take the shit way too serious. It's all about you and having a good time figuring shit out. If she doesn't serve your purpose anymore, if she's not the one, this is dating. So if she's not somebody that is a pleasure to be around, a good compliment, serving what you want, then fucking bounce, get rid of her. If she's great and she's being that compliment, and there's some potential, then keep seeing her, man. See how it goes. You know what I mean? But build tension. Don't rush into. Don't run at her like a horny fucking teenager who doesn't know how to fuck. All right? Showing some self-restraint and outcome independence is demonstrating actually to her chimpanzee brain that you know how to bang her lights out. All right? Because the nervous, horny 14-year-old who's just going to throw his little penis inside of her and be done in 2 minutes, that's not very appealing to her. And that's the message you're sending off to her when you come across like the thirsty, impatient guy that's trying to rush her into the bedroom. You see what I'm saying? So you can demonstrate patience, demonstrate outcome independence. It also demonstrates sexual prowess. They're always looking for signs of that, even when those signs are stupid, like, they have big hands or whatever, shit like that. You size your hands and feet don't have anything to do with the size of your dick, but, it doesn't matter what that, you can tell them that science all day long, and they'll fucking still put those connotations because they're women. They don't like facts. But, point is, though, they're looking for those signs. And actually a real sign, unlike the hands and feet or height one, related to your dick size. A real thing is if you don't have any self-control, if you don't have any emotional self-control, if you don't have any, patience, you're probably not going to be good for her as a lover. You're probably not going to be good for her in the sack. And that's pretty damn, pretty reliable for them. So they'll see it that way too, So, do you want to be the unattractive, thirsty beta male who's trying to get, the thirsty 14-year-old who needs to be validated by the girl who lets you, who lets you do things with your penis on her? Or do you want to be seen as a dominant alpha male that she actually wants to have sex with, so there is no last-minute resistance by the time you get to that point, because you were calm, cool, collected, demonstrated push-pull, and just let things happen as things should happen. So decide what you want to show up as, but that's last-minute resistance. How do you get through it? You don't have it in the first place is the first thing. And the second thing is you pay attention to what her body and what she's thinking, what she's doing, and you don't try to push past a barrier of hers. You just kind of linger where you're at, and let her emotions build. Put, little push, little pull, right? You just take it back a few notches before initiating again, and you don't initiate again until the body language and until she is doing things to invite that initiation. So, All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hey, hit subscribe so I can send this to more people. I can do more of these videos. I can help more people. All right. If you have any coaching things, hit me up privately down the link below, and can help you out in other ways if you're stuck. But what I really need, if you want to support what I'm doing here, is I need your subscription. I need your like. So do me a favor and take the time to hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. All right, thank you for tuning in.